Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Logical Nonsense Podcast. Today we've got Dodge on. We just witnessed a Seahawks loss after I called it last week. I said they weren't worthy. I said that they needed to face a real team. And what do you know? Prime time, they falter. Douglas, how are we feeling after that Monday night game?
I feel like our defense needs a look in the mirror. It wasn't very good at pretty much any stage of the game. There was a moment there where there's a couple moments where we had the opportunity to get back into it, but really just it didn't look good. Obviously, Lions is our first test, so not awesome luck. But starting season 3-1, I think I saw a stat where the Seahawks had the hardest schedule
Stretch, yeah.
So it's gonna be difficult, but honestly, I think this is still a team that can possibly sneak into playoffs.
Yeah,
and finish second. Like I still think they can finish second in the NFC West.
definitely. How would you rate this game?
I would rate this game as a Mediterranean game. It almost is grab your popcorn worthy just because the amount of offense that we saw going.
Yeah.
And people love that. But yeah, I'll rate it Mediterranean just because the game was never really questioned, right?
Yeah.
Like it never really felt like the Seahawks were going to win this game. I mean, Jared Goff looked impeccable.
Yeah, no, he did look
18
really
for
good.
18, 290 yards, 2 touchdowns.
No incompletions tonight. Absolutely nuts. He looked the best he's looked all year, which was good to see because this is the Jared Goff that I'm used to, the efficient Jared Goff. Last week I kind of not got after him, but I kind of dug into him a little bit and said, he wasn't being his efficient self. So it was nice to see him kind of pick up and be himself again. So the Lions pulled out trick moves though. That big Philly special. What do you think of that play?
They didn't even need it. So, the Lions looked really good today. They look like a team that can contend. And
to be fair, it's the first time they've looked good this year. I feel like that good.
Yeah, I agree. It's the first time where I've thought, they can compete with Super Bowl teams and stuff like that. So, definitely a step up from them. And their offense was just clicking. No matter what they did, it was clicking. Great job to them. Seahawks defense needs to do better.
Yeah.
The 2 turnovers hurt as well, especially the fumble early on.
So. Yeah. Definitely. They got up 14-0 pretty quickly. And, Seahawks fought. I'm going to rate this game also a Mediterranean game. I mean, there was definitely some highlights and stuff like that, but overall, Mediterranean game. Our other game tonight for Monday night, I got to quit with these double headers because there's always one game that sucks and the other game's really good. And they're just competing against each other, so I don't know why they're doing this. But the other game was the Dolphins versus Titans, which I knew was going to be a shit show before the game ever started. And I think that's because you have Mason Root. Well, it was Will Levis versus Tyler Huntley. And it was about exactly how I thought this game would go. Dodge, how would you rate this game?
Yeah, this was a shit show. And, I mean, you knew from the very beginning it was going to be.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley gets the starting job at Miami. Honestly, I never really thought he looked good when he was at Baltimore anyway.
This game was a shit show about what you would expect between these two teams. I mean, the Titans are terrible with Will Levis. They're not much better with Mason Rudolph. They got the win tonight finally. They have a win on their record now finally. The Dolphins, believe it or not, I know they got annihilated, but they did look better with Tyler Huntley than they did with Skylar Thompson. Not much, but a little bit better. At least there was only one turnover by Tyler Huntley. It was a fumble. Not bad. But, the Dolphins are screwed. This offense really is not working without Tua. People give a lot of hate on Tua, but it's interesting to me that every time Tua is out, how dysfunctional this offense is, especially considering how many weapons they have and how much this offense does click with Tua in it. Titans, on the other hand, yeah, I mean, these teams are terrible. Like, I don't know how else to put it. That's just straight up, they're just awful, both of them. So, I'd rather not talk about it much more unless you have more to say.
No, I mean, it's just a shit show as well. The reason why I think like Tua clicks in this offense and no one else seems to is because the caliber of backup quarterback that they've been putting in is not, it's not a high caliber backup quarterback. I didn't think Huntley did very good at the Ravens. And Skylar Thompson's never been somebody that I was like, oh, he might start someday.
I don't know why they put him back in. I didn't
Yeah.
think he did good a few years ago.
Yeah, I agree. So, no, this game's really bad. Both teams are really bad. They're not going to be doing much later.
No.
Unless Tua comes back.
Yep, exactly. All right, let's go to our next game, Bears versus Rams. Actually, a very interesting game, but I'll let you rate it first.
I'm going to go with a Mediterranean Sea. Solid game, right? We see the Bears pick up a second win. The Rams lose. We love the Rams losing as Seahawks fans. Stafford without the receiving core of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp struggles. It's kind of how it was. We saw Caleb Williams again play it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. Is it a first pick of the draft good? No. But, for all the DeAndre Swift hate that Swift was getting, I think he showed that he should not be getting as much hate. He is a good back. I mean, this Bears offense, once Caleb Williams figures it out, could be dangerous. It really could be. And the Bears could win a lot of games. They have a solid defense.
Yeah. I think Caleb Williams looked better. I think it's the best game he's had so far. He looked better, especially considering this line that the Bears have given Caleb Williams. We talked about all the assets he's been given, but the one thing we forgot to mention is the lack of offensive line this Bears team has, and it continues to show. Two guys we liked in the draft, Jared Verse, Braden Fiske, both looked really good in this game. Two promising rookies for the Rams, which is good news. It's a highlight for the Rams because obviously they're down a lot of guys right now, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Stafford's still slinging it. He's still trying to get this offense clicking. It's just he doesn't really have guys to do it with. The Rams fought in this one, and I think you'll continue to see that. They're a team that fights. They're frisky, but ultimately the Bears just have more talent on both sides of the ball. This Bears defense is helping them a lot. They're keeping them in games. They're allowing this offense to be put in good situations. They need to get the offense clicking even more. I was glad to see Swift have a good game. He has gotten a lot of hate, which I think is funny because people are like, oh, DeAndre Swift is terrible, whatever. But then their next sentence is this offensive line is terrible. So, I mean, usually they go hand in hand.
With the running back. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny to me, but anyways, side note. But yeah, I think this game was a Mediterranean Sea. I think it was one of the more fun games to watch. I think you could possibly brink on grab your popcorn, but it definitely was a Mediterranean Sea game for me. All right, let's go to our next game: the Buccaneers versus the Eagles. Yeah, shit show. Buccaneers came on hot, early, fast, and didn't really let off the gas pedal at all. They were up 20-4 to 24-0, I think, right off the bat, and wasn't looking good for the Eagles. It was very evident that Jalen Hurts had his two top receivers out, couldn't get any sort of offense going. The Bucs really shut down Saquon in the first half. He picked it up like Saquon has been doing, but that first half was a little rougher for him. The Bucs kind of exposed this Eagles defense for the first time. I've been kind of raving about this Eagles defense and how good they are this year. They got the ball out quick. That's what Baker did. Got the ball out quick. He got it out to their weapons, and they succeeded really well. It's a crazy concept, but if you get the ball before the blitz comes, it usually works pretty well. But the Eagles play a lot of soft coverage, if you will. They play a lot of zone, and the Bucs kind of did really well with that. Great bounce back win for the Bucs. They looked terrible against the Broncos last week, So I think it's good for Baker's confidence, for this team's confidence to win this one. But it was a shit show for the Eagles, and they really need A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to come back because I don't think Jalen Hurts can do it any longer. Again, Hurts needs to clean up the turnovers. He had 2 fumbles in this game. One of them he lost. The other they were able to recover back, but it's got to stop. It's not good. Just too many.
So I'm gonna rate this one. I'm gonna rate this one a Mediterranean, and the reason being is because for the Bucks, it's a grab your popcorn, and for the Eagles, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
For the Bucks, this is a great game. You're 3-1. Baker again looks amazing. You
Yeah.
got Mike Evans a little bit heated up when it's mostly been Godwin, right? Bucky Irving, 10 carries, 49 yards. Like to
Yep.
see that. And they stifled the Eagles offense all game.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't want to even say Saquon had a bad first half. The Eagles just didn't have the ball enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, he had a total of 10 carries for 84 yards by the end of the game. But in the first half, I think it was maybe like 4 carries.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
it's hard to have a good game when you're not getting the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, that means the Bucks were getting getting their offense off the field, getting their defense off the field for their offense. So it is all credit to the Bucks. Hurts has had a really rough start to the season.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll see if it continues. There have been a bunch of quarterbacks that have had rough starts to this season. So
true. Very true. Next game we've got is the Falcons versus the Saints. One of the weirdest games of the week. The Falcons won without one offensive touchdown. They won with I think it was 4 field goals from my boy Younghoe Koo and a pick 6 by Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson had the game of his life. He had a really, really good game. He had 17 tackles in this game, which is kind of crazy. 17 tackles, tackle for loss, and a pick 6. That's an absolutely insane game. Montana State product. Caden would not like that. But
Falcons had a special teams touchdown too, isn't?
They did. They did. So 0 offensive what's it called?
Touchdowns.
Yeah, just defense and special teams. But a win's a win, especially a division win. The Saints on the other side, Derek Carr started to look like Derek Carr again. Not a terrible game, but no touchdowns, 1 pick. Not his best, especially considering those first 2 weeks. We saw this offense light up defenses. Where did that Saints go? Nowhere to be seen. Mediterranean Sea for me, but it was a fun one. Not a fun, but interesting one, I should say.
And that's why I'm going to give it a grab your popcorn, because it was fun. It was interesting. The game was very close throughout, even though honestly, I felt like the Saints were the better team for most of the game. But
yeah, they were.
The Falcons were just hanging around and getting kind of these touchdowns, right?
Yep.
Like that special teams touchdown is a perfect example for me. That's like, sometimes things just don't go your way.
Yep.
And sometimes you F up enough that it's just not going to land in your favor. And that's how I felt about the Saints. I'm not going to rag on Derek Carr too much, even though I normally do. He can't have every game great, and he has played really well. So I won't rag on him too much. He didn't have a great game, but that's okay. They still put up 24 points. Kamara still looked solid, very good. Hill, I thought it was interesting they used Taysom Hill a little more on the goal line than they had been, I believe, in the first 2 games. So I think that might be something we see more often of, even though their offense wasn't clicking a lot, but at the goal line seemed to be working. Olave seemed to be a little more active in there.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I ever want to hear about the Falcons again, and I might be rambling here, I never want to hear that the Falcons receiving core was ever good.
You say this every week, Doug.
They're not good. Kyle Pitts is garbage. Every year we hear about how Kyle Pitts and Drake London are like going to be this great dynamic duo, and every year it's false. And usually they blame the quarterback. Now that they actually have a quarterback that we know is solid
Yeah.
and not playing well,
Yeah.
it's because the receivers are crap.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney is not like, I mean, Ray
He should be a
McCloud.
wide receiver 3. Yeah.
I mean, he's not even a good wide receiver 3, if I'm being
No,
honest.
yeah.
They have a bunch of wide receiver 3s, a tight end that has all the athleticism in the world but can't get open. Bijan's their only really outstanding player. People are going to come at me for that, but that's true.
Let's go to our next game. Bengals versus Panthers. Bengals. You're supposed to annihilate teams like this. You let them back in a little bit. This is a little too close for comfort there. There was three and outs towards the end of the game, and I thought maybe the Panthers could pull something away. They didn't, but I think Panthers side of it, Andy Dalton should be starting. Like just allow Bryce Young to get the experience on the bench. He's not. You're just gonna hurt his confidence more. What's up?
You think that's still an experiment?
People think it is. I personally don't think it's tough. It's tough because like you can give up on him, but like again, you've only seen what 4 games. I don't know. It's tough. We'll see. I don't necessarily believe in him, but the Bengals just still what's up?
4 games this season.
We saw T. Higgins get some more targets finally. He was kind of the guy that they went to a lot when they needed a third down conversion. Chase Brown had a good game finally. The offense clicked, but it wasn't as great as it should be. Which honestly, the offense hasn't been the issues for the Bengals, right? Like Bengals offense the last 3 games, I would say, even going back to the Chiefs, like it's been looking. I wouldn't say all the way back to itself, but it's been looking a lot better. It's been looking, I would say, flashes of their old self. You know what I'm saying? It's really their defense that needs work, and letting a Panthers team put 24 on you isn't really promising for this defense. So I'll give it a Mediterranean. It was an okay game.
Yeah, I'll give it Mediterranean as well. And honestly, that's more from the Panthers side than the Bengals. The Bengals needed this one.
Yeah.
But the Panthers looked solid, I thought.
Yeah.
And Andy Dalton deserves to be starting. He should start the rest of the year. If I were the Panthers, I'd trade Bryce Young, see what you can get for him.
Yeah.
Maybe the experiment, maybe you keep him one more year and you try it. But to me, the experiment's over, and he's not going to be the Panthers franchise quarterback. Andy Dalton still gets good stats. I mean, he throws the ball well, right?
Yeah.
He's got a receiving core that can get open. Deontay Johnson, like when we had the draft podcast, I liked Xavier Legette.
He had a good game finally.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I didn't think Xavier Legette's other games were bad by any means. It's just this game he really did get the targets.
Yeah.
He didn't have any against the Chargers. But in his first game of the year, 4 catches for 35 yards. Last game, 2 catches for 42. This time he really got to shine.
Yep.
But I think that's honestly because he has Andy Dalton now and can throw him the ball.
Yep.
Chuba Hubbard looks good too, and he's looked good throughout the season. I'm still a little worried about I'm worried about the Bengals, not just defensively. I'm still a little worried about them offensively. I know they put up 34, and they've put up 33 against the Commanders and 25 against the Chiefs, which is not bad. Those are all significant enough points to win. I don't know. I have a bad feeling. I don't feel like Burrow is – I don't think the Burrow-Chase connection is quite like it was. So I'd be a little worried, even offensively, still if I were the Bengals.
Interesting take. Okay. All right, let's go to our next game. Texans versus Jags. Jags now fall 0-4. Rate the game.
We're going to go with Mediterranean. Debating grab your popcorn because it was a close game throughout and the Jags got up. But, I think ultimately the Jags being 0-4. You've been saying
I've been saying this for a while.
Houston is on the hot seat. 0-4, he's most definitely on the hot seat.
Been saying this.
You've been saying that. Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I'll say it again. I don't know how many fucking times I gotta say it for the people in the back. He is not top 3 paid. He should not be top 3 paid. I don't give a fuck if that's how the money is right now. Okay? I don't know who needs to hear this. Oh, that's just how the money is in the league, bro. He's got high potential. Motherfucker, he's 0-4. He missed multiple throws in this game. Multiple. Brian Thomas. Fucking
by the way,
Christian Kirk.
I know I was hating
Terrible.
on Thomas. Brian Thomas had a good start to the season.
He's had a great start of the season. Yeah. He's looking very promising.
Yeah. So, there are things that look good for the Jags. I think they have a solid young team. Trevor Lawrence needs to play better. Honestly, that's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And for them being 0-4, that goes on Doug Peterson as well. They've been in 3 of the 4 games. They lost the Texans 24-20, lost the Browns 18-13, lost the Dolphins 20-17. Right? So they're 3 touchdowns away from being 3-1.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I feel like when you're losing those 1-score games, often it comes down to coaching.
Yeah.
That's typically how I define what a good coach and a bad coach is. Who wins the 1-score games?
And they've lost a lot of those 1-score games in the last 2 seasons. Going back to last year in the last half of the season and going to this year, they just can't win games. They lost that first game to the Miami Dolphins. They lost this game. They got blown out by the Bills. Every game's in some way, shape, or form, whether it's close or a blowout, hasn't looked good for the Jags. They need that refresh button. They need that restart button. It's not looking good for them.
I know.
What's up?
As for the Texans, though.
Texans also, honestly, didn't look great, especially on defense. Defensively, this is the first time Trevor Lawrence has had the time to throw this whole season, and it's interesting to me because going into this game, the Texans had the number 1 pressure rate in the league, which was surprising to me, but they had the number 1 percentage of pressure rate. They had 46% QB pressure. This game, they had 26. So I don't really understand what the strategy was there. I don't know if the blocking was just better or what was going on there, but it wasn't great. Trevor Lawrence had time. I feel like the Texans just kind of played with their food a little bit. Offensively, Nico Collins had another monster game, and I think it's time we start to consider that man as a serious top wide receiver in the league. I think last year we're like, oh, yeah, this kid's really good, but I genuinely think there's an argument top 10, maybe even top 5 wide receiver right now with the way he's playing.
I wouldn't put him top 5, but I think there's a genuine argument for top 10, especially because, Diggs came over.
Yeah.
And guess who's still wide receiver 1?
Definitely Nico Collins.
Right?
Yeah.
He kind of put him under his wing a little bit. Like, you're going to come in here. Everyone thought Diggs is going to come in here. He's going to be the one getting the 15 targets. He's going to be the one getting the 12 catches. Right? Nico Collins said, why? Why not?
Yeah. So, he's leading the league in receiving yards right now.
Yeah. No, Nico Collins, I think especially their connection.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's not just Nico Collins.
Oh, definitely CJ Stroud.
Stroud that are really connecting well, which is making this a top connection in the league. And I think Nico Collins deserves to get his flowers too.
Definitely. He's a beast. He finds ways to get open. Like I don't know. It seems like he's always open, making plays. So, let's go to our next game of the night: Steelers versus Colts. I can rate this one first. Steelers. This was a grab your popcorn for me. I highly enjoyed this game. watching the Steelers go down early, I was like, uh-oh, the Colts, the Colts, this is going to sound awful. Okay, I'm going to preface this. It's not awful, okay?
What are you just gonna say, Hunter?
I think it's a good thing that Anthony Richardson got hurt for this team. I'll say it. I said it at the beginning of the year. I don't know if you remember this, Dodge, but on that podcast, I said if Joe Flacco comes in this, watch out. And what the fuck do you know? Kid comes in, throws 2 touchdowns. This offense is clicking. Every single offense has struggled against the Steelers this year. Guess who was able to pass the ball? Joe Flacco. Guess who has a lot of experience of getting that ball out quickly? Joe Flacco. This Colts team, man. On the other side of it, the flip side of it, the Steelers worked their way back in. They had no business being in this game. They were down 17-3 at half. I got to give it all the fucking Justin Fields, man. He really brought this team back into it. He played good. He looked good. I think there were times, where we saw that, there's Justin Fields, there was 2 fumbles. He did lose one. They were able to recover the other one, but overall, he played good. I'm impressed by Justin Fields' play so far. I think he's been playing solid. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 312 passing yards, and a touchdown. Like, he really fought this team back into it, gave them a chance. There were some plays that killed the Steelers, though. The George Pickens fumble sucked. They were looking like they were going to score on that drive. They had a lot of momentum on that drive. That one wasn't that sucked. There was another play right at the end there on their last drive, and I believe it was a penalty. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it was a penalty of sorts, and it really cost them. It was either a penalty or a sack. I can't remember which one it was, but it put them in a really bad situation, and it was a sack because they had no timeouts, and the clock kept running. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an interesting game. I still believe in the Steelers team, but Colts might have found a recipe that might work. Watch out for this Colts team. I said it once. I'll say it before. I'll say it again.
I'll say this. This is a grab your popcorn game as well. It's better for the Colts passing game, and it hurts their running game.
Yep.
Because Anthony Richardson is a threat with his feet, and he can open up stuff for his running back to run the ball. And actually, Anthony Richardson, when he's been in, has played really quite well.
Yeah.
Much better than I had anticipated when he came out of college. So I'll take that. But Joe Flacco, I don't know what it is the past two seasons when he was, with the Browns, now back with the Colts. Man is just confident. And he's throwing the ball like it was a decade ago, and he's with the Ravens, and he's making that Super Bowl run. He's just super cool, super confident. They look good.
Especially against the Steelers team that I literally said last week was the best defense in the league. Yeah. I made that statement.
The Steelers have a really good defense, and they have a really good defensive coach in Mike Tomlin as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you look at it from the Steelers' perspective, the only reason they lost the game is because the Pickens fumble.
Yeah.
Really. Justin Fields, this was by far his best game of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, he looks really good, like really confident, leading this team. I really liked what I saw yesterday.
Yeah, I think this was by far his best game. I think previous to this game, people were talking about should Fields start over Russ.
Russ, yeah.
Right? And I was like, I was looking at it, I was like, no. He hasn't shown anything in the first 3 games, even though they won all those games. He didn't show anything that would be like he deserves to start. Like, they could have won all 3 games with Russell, too, and honestly, probably done better. This is one game where I look at it and I say, like,
yeah,
maybe he actually played better than what Russ could have done.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, and I know they lost this game, but it's very possible after this performance that he could become the starter and the Steelers shift Russ somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I mean,
they can win games with him.
Yeah, for the Steelers right now, I think Mike Tomlin, those first 3 games, like, they're winning. Russ is hurt. No reason to hurt. Like, there's no reason to risk anything. keep the mojo going. And I think Fields kind of proved like, hey, like take me seriously. Like I can be a good asset for this offense because this offense really hasn't clicked. It's really been the defensive story.
Yeah.
It sucks that when their offense did click, it wasn't until the second half because I really think that had they gotten going in the first half, they could have won this game pretty solidly. And like you said, that George Pickens fumble that really killed that drive at the end there of the first half. But Colts offensive line, I got to give a shout out. TJ Watt had 0 sacks yesterday. It's like
Colts
unheard of.
good.
What's up?
The Colts O-line's good.
Colts O line is very good. Yes. So got to give him credit for that. All right, let's go to the Vikings versus Packers.
This is an interesting game for sure. Love. I mean, how many turnovers are in this game? There's a crap.
Three picks.
No. I meant total. There's 7 turnovers in this game.
Oh, between the two teams?
Yeah. There's 7 turnovers in this game. And I'm gonna say it's a grab your popcorn, even though it was like all Vikings and then all Packers at the very end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a grab your popcorn just because, the game was fun and interesting.
It was fun.
Like, even though it went one way and then completely the other, it makes me want to say shit show, but in the end, it was fun.
Yeah.
So it's a grab your popcorn. Darnold continues to look pretty good. I'm still not sold on Darnold. I know a lot of people are.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, and I feel this way about Joe Flacco too, but at times his confidence, I think, is just overconfidence.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I just look at him like if the DB turned around, that's a pick.
Yeah.
You're kind of lucky that the DB didn't turn around.
Yeah.
But, congrats to Darnold. He's playing well. He's shown spurts of this in the past. Mm-hmm. Aaron Jones gets the revenge win. And to be honest, this is the best offensive team that Darnold's had around him since he's been in the league. So I'm not surprised that he's playing better. Love, very rusty, and then found it.
Facts.
So we'll see. I didn't honestly expect him to come back this early, but I think the Packers to be 2-2 with Love back.
Love hasn't won a game.
No, stop it, bro.
I
know, but stop it. Don't relax. You're stirring up the pot too much.
Just saying.
No. The Packers also have a good team.
They do.
Maybe both of these defenses could use some more work. I think the defenses could have performed slightly better in the game, even though there was a lot of turnovers. It just, I don't know.
Tale of two halves for me. First half, Vikings looked like they had the first 3 weeks. Defense absolutely fucking stifling, causes a shit ton of turnovers in that first half. Making Jordan Love look like he should be on the bench still, just because of not because he played that bad, but he just looked frazzled. That offense wasn't clicking. It just looked bad. They were up 28-7 at half. Their kicker for the Packers couldn't make shit. I believe he missed 2 field goals in the first half. I'm like, what is happening to this Packers team right now? Second half, Packers come back. I don't know if the Vikings defense got tired. I don't know what happened because this defense has been looking solid all year, but they look tired. Jordan Love was like, oh, yeah, I am a good fucking quarterback, and just starts slinging the ball everywhere, giving it to people who wants a touchdown, a little Oprah style. And I'm starting to think this Packers team might be able to pull it off. They don't get it done, but it was a fun game to watch. Grab your popcorn. It was one of the more fun games to watch just because of the complete flip and tone of this game. It's so weird because there's so many turnovers, just a lot. happening like always in this game.
This is either
So
grab your popcorn or a shit show. Like,
yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Like I don't know. I enjoyed it, but
I did too.
going to a
Going to a for sure shit show.
going to a what the fuck is this? Jets versus Broncos. Anytime a game ends on 2 missed field goals, I think that should just explain the game to anybody. I don't know like what this was. This was a win, but I didn't feel good about it after. Like, this is one of those games where you walk away and you're like, did we win that? Like, did that just happen? We had less than 200 yards of offense and we won the game. And the funny thing is, like, both teams had like 50 yards of offense total at the end of the first half. I don't know if this was just such great defense or if this was just such bad offense. I don't know what happened.
I think I know what the answer is.
The one key takeaway I will say for the Broncos is this defense is legit. Like, it's legitimately good. They've played well all 4 games. They've kept this team in it every single game. And I am excited about that. But this was a weird ass game, man. The Broncos are 2-2 right now, and I don't even know how to feel about it. Like, it's weird that we have the same record as a lot of teams in the league right now.
Yeah, this is a blown game from the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Like, the Jets need to win these games because they're supposed to be a playoff team and they're not playing like it. This was garbage. This was just absolute hot garbage. Bo Nix went 12 of 25 for 60 yards.
Yeah.
That's a stat line I have in like 4th grade. Like, we're going back to elementary school football, bro.
Oh my God.
There's only 430 yards of total offense between both teams.
You want to know a great stat, though, for the Broncos?
What?
Not one sack given up.
That's even worse. How do you complete less than 50% of how do you throw for 2.4 yards per attempt and not get sacked one time? Yeah, I mean, this was just bad on all fronts. Rodgers didn't look good. The Jets' running game didn't look good. The Broncos' running game looked average at best.
Our running game hasn't looked good all year.
Bo Nix didn't look good.
Hey, but he got his first passing touchdown.
Cortland Sutton and Mike Williams were the only.
I think it's in second, actually. Never mind.
What?
I think it's in second. Never mind. But go ahead.
Yeah.
No, that was his first. Never mind.
That's so bad, bro. I just want to remind people who said like Russ sucks.
I just want to remind people who said Bo Nix should go in the first round, and we're excited about this pick. That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say.
Bro. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Bo Nix would be a little bit better than this. I will say though that this makes Russell Wilson look like maybe Russell never sucked, and he was actually just having MVP seasons, but he was on the Broncos.
Look,
26 touchdowns and 9 pick season. That's an MVP season.
Look, and I feel like I'm saying the same fucking rant every fucking game, but like, holy shit, can we give this guy a fucking weapon? Like, holy fucking shit. Like, Cortland Sutton's good, but he's not that fucking good.
No, and no one else is good.
No. Also,
I don't know what happened to Marvin Mims, too. Like, what happened to the big play Mims? I haven't seen him all year.
He's catching punts for us.
Also, Rodgers is looking so, like, inconsistent. This is
Yeah.
weird for Rodgers.
Surtain
Eh,
has been locking people down though. Like that's another game where Garrett Wilson is supposed to have this big game, limits him to 5 receptions for 40 yards.
no, the Broncos have studs on D.
Yep.
But the Jets still should have won this game, and Rodgers still should look better than that.
Yeah. 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 That was bad.
And the Jets, it was just awful. Let's move on. This was a terrible game.
Thank you. I was just
Hey,
about
the
to say
Broncos
that.
are 2-2 though. Congratulations.
Thank you. I can't even believe we are 500 right now.
Their quarterback has 4 times as many picks as he does touchdowns. But
Yep. He does have rushing touchdowns. I'll give him that. Like,
oh, that's right. That's true.
he has, I think, 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns, which helps his case. Not much, but it does help a little bit. Let's go to our next game. Commanders versus Cardinals. Going into this game, I thought this was going to be one of the games of the week. I was excited to put this on. I look over, and this Commanders team is just fucking pouring it on this Cardinals team. I mean, the Cardinals, going up to this point, they put up a good fight against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
They've been putting up good fights. I've been like, okay, like this Cardinals team has kind of impressed me. Like, wow, they're a lot better than I thought. Jaden Daniels, holy fuck, man. You want to hear some stats about this Commanders offense, Dodge?
Yeah,
In the last 3 games, 101 points, and they've punted 1 time.
That'll do her. You know how I know how the Commanders are like blowing up on offense? I'm getting trade requests for Terry McLaurin now. Every day. People are like, "What can I do to have him?" And I'm like, "Bro, he's been on the trade block for a year."
Yeah.
Okay. No, the Commanders are weirdly looking really hot, and they're 3-1.
Yep.
They might be the best team in the NFC East.
There's a case for it right now. I don't feel confident in either the Cowboys or the Eagles.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. The Cardinals, I did think would put up a better fight. Honestly, I thought they would be a little bit better defensively. But in offense, I thought they'd put up a better fight. This game was Mediterranean.
Yeah.
As well, because it was kind of a shit show for the Cardinals, but grab your popcorn for the. I don't know. I feel like a lot of games were kind of this blowout type thing where it's really great for one team and sucks for the other. I didn't feel like the Cardinals played terrible.
No, the Commanders just really
Played good.
Just like they just don't put the ball. Like they just score on every opportunity they have. I don't know what else to say. Like
Jaden Daniels off to Brian Robinson. They run it with Jaden Daniels and they pass it to Terry McLaurin. And they got other studs out there.
Daniels' completion percentage right now, 82% through 4 games.
That's really good. I would not.
That is the best in the first 4 games of any quarterback ever.
I wouldn't have
in any season ever. Best start ever. Crazy. Dodge. You didn't like Daniels, did you?
No, I think.
Did you? I couldn't remember.
No,
it might have just been Thomas. I think you didn't like the receivers from the LSU. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. All right. Didn't mean to put you on the spot there. My bad. I'll take it back. My bad. Hey, my bad, bro. My bad. All right. Yeah. What did you rate this game?
Mediterranean.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put it Mediterranean too. All right, let's go to our next game. 49ers versus Patriots. Yeah, go ahead, start us off.
Yeah, I'm going to rate this a shit show. Just because, the game I never really thought was in question. And then also, I don't feel like the Niners played well.
No.
And yet they were never put into question about who was going to win that game. There's 5 turnovers in this game. It was just a bad game. That's the way it was. Purdy, I don't know. Purdy had the pick. He didn't complete.
Can't convert.
He didn't complete a lot of passes, but when he did, they were for a lot of yards.
Yep.
Jawan Jennings every once in a while looks really impressive.
He had a good game last week too.
Yeah, he did. Jordan Mason looked nice and solid. Bell carrier back.
They're gonna need him for a while.
And the Patriots are just awful.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, Seth.
Sorry, Seth.
The Niners, injury bug continues to haunt this team. Fred Warner went out at halftime. It was announced today that Christian McCaffrey has Achilles tendonitis in both legs. Yes, that's just perfect. Perfect for the Niners. Good news is Jordan Mason, like you just said, is been looking really good. He's not Christian McCaffrey, but he is looking solid. This receiving core, I'll say it, they need to step up. I know Debo wasn't fully healthy, but they just need to do better. Like, they didn't have bad games. They're just not being themselves. I think this team should be more dynamic than it is.
Mhm.
But they didn't really need it this game, to be honest. They had a pick six, but they need to execute. There's so many drives that they get to like the 30, the 20, just settle for a field goal. Moody has a lot of points this season. I'm sure he doesn't want to have a lot of points this season. So let's just score. Niners, look like yourselves. But Niners haven't looked good all year. I'll say it. The first game, I guess. But ever since that first game, they haven't looked like themselves. So hoping we can see that soon because they're a fun team to watch. Okay, one debate I actually do want to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May, is it his turn? Brissett had a lot of turnovers this game. Okay, he only had 2 turnovers, but let me say this.
No, he fumbled 3 times.
Fumbled 3 times, yeah.
I saw it. Yeah. No, I get it.
Or do you let him sit?
No,
it seems so bad.
I don't play him, and the reason why I don't play him is because I'm okay with Brissett struggling.
Yeah,
I'd rather not have May struggle.
Yeah.
Let's get a
Confidence thing,
weapon.
yeah.
Let's get a weapon out there. You can sit this season and learn what you can from Brissett.
Yep.
See what you can do with getting a connection with the guys that are there.
Yep.
The Pats team is not ready to compete yet. The Pats team is not ready to accept a rookie quarterback and have him play well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go any better, and I would rather Brissett struggle than May.
Yeah.
So
true.
I keep Brissett starting.
Let's go to our next game. Chargers versus Chiefs. Your Chiefs are 4-0, but I bet you they aren't 4-0 the way you thought they'd be.
No.
This was this is the definition of a Mediterranean game for me. Like, this was very oh, nice. Chargers go up. They have a great first drive. I'm like, ooh, okay, we're getting the passing game going. Okay, Harbaugh, I see you. We're getting some things going. That was like the best drive we saw all game from them. Since then, I think Patrick Mahomes threw a pick not too long after that first drive and then set him up for field goal range. Chargers score, and then they never scored again. Kansas City, huge news here is Rashee Rice, who is like the only receiver that actually looks solid on this team, goes down. So now they're down Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice. So now you're really depending on your rookie Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce. Kelce finally had a solid game. 7 receptions, 89 yards. Best game we've seen him have all year. Kareem Hunt stepped up into a big way at the running back position. Not the greatest game, but, solid considering he hasn't played in a while. We'll see. I mean, this Chiefs team, again, not a great performance, but they got it done. And I don't know, say what you want about the Chiefs, but good teams find a way to win. They keep finding a way to win. Do I think it's going to cost them eventually? Probably. But they'll win them when it matters. We've seen them do it before.
Yep, we have seen this exact thing before. Look at last season.
Yep.
And the thing is I said this earlier in the podcast. Teams that win within one score usually have a good coach.
Yep.
Usually a sign
Andy
of
Reid, yep.
And Andy Reid is the reason why the Chiefs are winning games. Not that Harbaugh's a bad coach, but they need to be a little more than one-dimensional. They need to let Herbert throw the ball and just get it out there.
Yeah.
I understand with the balance. I like balance. Balance makes good offense. They got rid of their receiving core as well, so they kind of handicapped themselves. But Herbert's super talented.
Yep.
Herbert honestly might be just as talented as the guy right across the field on the other side.
Yeah.
That's Patrick Mahomes.
In terms of raw talent, yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
that's what I mean. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's got a better arm.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's a bold take. No.
Okay. So, I would just say the Chargers need to be more than one-dimensional and just trying to pound the rock.
I agree.
If they're struggling on offense, let them air it out.
Yep.
And that's what happened this game after the first quarter. And the Chiefs just find ways to win, like you said. Kelsey, you already touched on it. I'm not sold on Kelsey necessarily continuing.
Yeah.
But I think they heard about the negative talks and made sure to make Kelsey available early and often.
Yep.
So,
all right, let's go to our next game. Raiders versus Browns.
Oh, I think that last game, Mediterranean's fine.
Okay. Let's go to our next game. Raiders versus Browns. Rate the game.
Shit show. This is a terrible game. Minshew looked bad. Deshaun Watson didn't look much better. And yet the Raiders won the game.
Yeah.
This is another game where total offense between both teams, 500 yards. 268 to 241. This is like the Jets and Broncos, except for there's a little more execution at actually scoring the points.
Yeah. Little, not much, but a little.
But I mean, you look at the third down efficiency. The Browns went 3 for 10 and 0 for 1 on fourth, and the Raiders went 4 of 12. Like, we're not converting on third down at all, in either.
Yeah, it's bad.
It was an awful game. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah. I also don't know what the fuck happened to this Browns defense. Like, they just don't look like they did last year, and I'm like confused because there wasn't much roster changes. So, what the fuck happened? I don't know if they're just on the field more. They're getting more tired. I don't know. Like, did Myles Garrett get kidnapped? Go somewhere? Where the hell has he been?
Bro. Myles Garrett has been absent.
Yeah, he had 2 sacks this game, but still, he's just he hasn't been the same player. I don't know. He just hasn't been.
4 sacks.
I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention as much, but the bigger story in this game is Amari Cooper should have had 3 touchdowns in this game, and they all got either called back or a missed throw. First touchdown got called back because of a flag. Second touchdown, Deshaun Watson, I don't know where the fuck he was throwing, but it was awful. Wide open right before half. Missed him. And then at the end of the game, I believe it was either another penalty or another missed throw. But the point being, what the fuck are you doing, Deshaun? This is terrible. The Browns,
to be honest,
they got
a game either.
What's up?
To be honest, I didn't think this was Watson's worst game.
So. It wasn't. No, he actually looked
To be honest,
better than he
one of his
has.
decent games, yeah.
It was actually one of his better games of the season. And yeah, the Browns should have won this game.
Yeah. And when you read off the Browns defense, I mean, you've got Delpit, Bush, Garrett, Smith, McLeod. You know, I could help with the first names, Zadarius Smith, right?
Yeah.
Miles Garrett, Grant Delpit, Devin Bush.
Yeah. Wosu Koramoa.
Yeah.
Koramoa. He's a beast. I love him. But yeah, no, I mean they've got the guys. Like I said, like their defense didn't really change. So I don't know what happened here. But
letting up 5 yards of rush, a little crazy.
They're losing the games that they should be winning. So not good for the Browns. They need a reset button. Going to our next game.
The Raiders are somehow 2-2, just like the Broncos.
AFC West, 2-2-2, 2-2-2. All right, Bills versus Ravens.
2-2.
What's up? Chargers are, yeah.
Oh my! So the Broncos are tied for the lead in the AFC West.
They're tied for second.
Oh, wait, second because the Chiefs are 3-1.
Yeah.
My bad.
Bills versus Ravens. Hi, King Henry. We forgot about you, buddy. Hello. Wake up call. That alarm clock's going off for the Bills defense. 87 fucking yard touchdown to start the game. Holy shit. Wow. What a game for him. Can we talk about that? Like the Ravens, I think, figured out that they have this like absolute mammoth of a human being in their backfield and like started blocking for him. It was crazy, right? Like this is what the Ravens should be doing to
They actually stuck with the run game for the entire
game. Actually realize like they have a two-headed monster in Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, and like what everyone was afraid of happened. This offense was really fun to watch. I've realized I'm kind of a Ravens hater on this podcast, which I don't know how that happened. Maybe I'm racist. I don't know, but
no, you do hate on the Ravens a little bit, though.
I do, but like I think it's because genuinely. This is what I know they're capable of.
I think it's because you have high expectations for them.
I do have high expectations because they should be winning games.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's so talented. Derrick Henry's so talented. Like they have
a good coach. Yeah.
A really good coach. Their defense is really solid. So I for them to be 2-2, for this to be the first game where I'm like, wow, like hell yeah, like this.
I think I noticed it. Like what was it? Game 1 as well that I thought like. They did look good. Yeah. Even though they lost the Chiefs, you know, I thought that first drive, the first half
I thought the first half against the Cowboys too, but then they pissed it down their leg against the Cowboys. They almost lost that one. So the Bills, as weird as this sounds, I don't like that's just a throwaway game to me. I like the Ravens just poured it on them. Like they just couldn't get anything together. It was just a bad game for the Bills. Like I wouldn't even be worried if I'm the Bills, if I'm being honest. I think that is a matchup that just did not align in the Bills' favor. And I think throw it in the past and move on.
I disagree with it being a throwaway. I'm a little worried if I'm the Bills with only scoring 10. And I'm a little worried that the Ravens had literally 8 yards per rush. But I do think
it's the Ravens.
I do think we saw finally what the Ravens should be doing, which is sticking it with the run game for the entire game.
Yep.
Right. We saw 34 carries to 19 passes.
Yep.
That's the type of ratio we're seeing. Like Lamar does not need to be throwing it all around the field, and let Derrick Henry get his 24 carries. Let Lamar get his 5 to 10 carries. And
Justice Hill had a good game too.
Justice Hill in there.
He's been improved. Like he's impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah,
he's impressed the hell out of me. He runs hard.
He's the only reason why that passing game ever even worked.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest. They still have the problem of the fact that 9 of their 14 catches were by running backs. Derrick Henry had 3 catches in that game too.
Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. Overrated.
Yeah, well, 100%. And Mark Andrews.
He's a blocker. He's a left tackle now. Thanks.
Yeah, he is. He's a left tackle. Did you see those hands? That's a left tackle. Did you see that one straight? Yikes. Yeah, not a great game from Josh Allen. James Cook. Did he? I forget. Did he leave with an injury? Couldn't remember.
James Cook?
Yeah. No. Okay.
He just had a bad game.
Yeah. I mean, everyone on the Bills kind of had a rough game.
Okay, but the one highlight for Josh Allen, can we talk about that throw on the sideline? That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was fucking I know the guy was wide open down the sideline. You got two men chasing you. You're going out of bounds. Fucking throw it sideways, fucking 50 yards. Get the fuck out of here. That's the shit they thought Zach Wilson was going to do.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
All right. Fair enough. Did I write that game?
Neither did I.
Mid-Terranean.
I think it's yeah. I don't know.
It's another one of those games where it's a blowout, and the Ravens love it, and the Bills hate it.
I don't know. Like, part of me wants to say shit show, but it was so fun to watch the Ravens offense play that good that I almost want to give it a grab your popcorn. I think I'm going to give it a grab your popcorn, actually.
There's a lot of games this week that honestly are
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, Cowboys, Giants. Cowboys, this is the last game of the week. Cowboys get it done on Thursday. Kind of a weird game.
Very weird game.
Malik Neighbors is he's fucking ridiculous. I've never seen a receiver in their first year just carry a team. Like, he's carrying this team right now on offense.
Give Wan'Dale Robinson his props, bro.
He had a good game. Yeah, Wan'Dale had a good game, but Malik Neighbors
looks like a stud.
He's leading the league in receptions, second in yards, and fucking third in touchdowns for receivers right now.
I completely agree with you. Malik Neighbors is the best player on that team.
Yeah.
I will say, though, I think Wan'Dale's capable of the type of games that we saw.
Yeah.
This last one. And I think, honestly, the Giants could look like this, where their offense looks halfway decent, if they rely on getting Neighbors and Robinson the ball.
Yep.
And Slayton
Neighbors is down, though. Neighbors got hurt, so.
Oh, what?
Screwed.
I didn't see that. What did he do?
Fuck, what did he do?
He suffered a concussion.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, this team's screwed for a few weeks.
Smile. They have, he has 10 days from Thursday.
Yeah. Can't fucking see straight, but he's smiled. It's fine. Get on the field. We need you to catch a ball because you're our whole offense. You're fine, Malik.
Anyway, no.
Cowboys.
The Giants looked better than normal, and the Cowboys looked like the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys got to figure some shit out, man. This is concerning. Like, very concerning. I guess they didn't give up a touchdown. There's a highlight for the Cowboys. They didn't give a touchdown. They limited the run.
5 scoring drives.
They limited them to 26 rushing yards, which is the lowest they've done all year. That's good.
Yeah. The defense is not bad, but it was bend don't break at its worst.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, I agree. But much to improve on by both teams. I'm going to go Mediterranean. And now, our favorite time of the week. Our Week 4 MVP trophies. Would you like to start, Dodge?
Yeah, are we going player first?
Player first.
My MVP this week is Nico Collins.
Ooh.
And the reason why is because this guy is just proving that, honestly, he's got a connection with CJ Stroud that is better than Stephon Diggs, and he's wide receiver 1 on that team. No question about it.
I'm going to go route you probably didn't even see coming. Going Troy Anderson from the Atlanta Falcons, 17 tackles, a pick 6, TFL,
A defensive
absolute
player.
monster game for the boy.
Respect.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. 47-yard pick 6, by the way. That's for linebacker. That's pretty solid, man.
Yeah, he's moving.
He's moving. That's my week 4 player MVP. Who's your week 4 team MVP?
The Commanders.
Ooh, I like the pick.
The Commanders are
right
my
field.
week 4 MVP. Honestly, if they keep playing like this, they're the best team in the NFC East.
Yep.
And they're gonna make the playoffs if they keep playing like this. And what is this? Dan Quinn's first year?
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels rookie season? Is that gonna be a team we're gonna have to worry about now? Like in the NFC East? Maybe they're the new team on the block.
They could be. I like the pick. I also like the Ravens pick. Going into this game, this was Sunday Night Football. A lot of people expected this Ravens team to, be in a close one. This is a test. They must win game. Make a statement. Offense clicks. I think I got to give it to Ravens. You said I always have high expectations for this team. They met my expectations. Good job. Now, probably my favorite part of the week. The hottest seat.
Is always my favorite part. My hottest seat right now. This is gonna be kind of weird because they're 2-2. Sean Payton.
Whoa! Out of right field.
And the reason why it's the hottest seat right now is because, like, the defense is what's good.
Now.
He's not even. He's gonna be your quarterback.
No, it's not.
But like, he's supposed to be an offensive guy, and you know what? His offenses looked like trash.
Yep.
And and I'm sure the Broncos gave him full reign to get whoever he wanted at receiver during the draft. You got Bo Nix, but that's it. I mean, they got Franklin too, but I mean, it just hasn't been working. That's what he's supposed to be good at. Honestly, I think you could have a different coach in here and they'd be doing better. They might still be 2-2, but they'd be looking better.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, to me, it shows even more that
Russ wasn't the issue.
Russ was not the issue. And Russ actually, for 26 touchdowns and 9 picks last season, or 8 picks, was having a really good year.
My hottest seat, Jalen Hurts.
Whoa, that's further out of left field.
Look,
who's going to come in for him? Who's going to come in?
Oh, I don't know who's coming in for him. I'm not saying that he's going to get subbed.
Oh,
but as somebody who, a lot of people consider a top QB in this league right now, he has not been playing well at all.
He's been playing really poorly.
He's been very bad, actually. He has a lot of turnovers on the season, and when his two top receivers go down, he was not able to carry this team as a Josh Allen would. As a matter of fact, he looked worse. What's up?
You want to know why I disagree with you?
Why?
Kenny Pickett is the backup.
You're right. You're right, bro. It can't get worse. You're right. It can't get worse. Invalidated. All right, here we go. Let's go to rapid fire picks. You know the rules. Can't spend too much time on why you chose. No one cares. Go to Thursday Night Football. Buccaneers versus the Falcons.
Bucks. They're playing hot. Go Baker.
Give me the Bucks as well. Going to our London game on Sunday at 6:30 a.m. Jets versus Vikings. Who's getting off the bus?
Vikings. Jets look frazzled. I'm very worried about them.
This is a trap game. I'm telling you right now.
No.
Upset of the week alert.
No.
Give me the Jets. Panthers, Bears.
Panthers. Andy Dalton comes in there, gets a dub.
Give me the Bears. Ravens, Bengals in Cincy.
Ravens, and I get more worried about the Bengals season.
Oh, this one's tough. This is a must win for both of them. Oh, God. I want to pick the Ravens, but something is tingling.
Quick, it's
at
supposed
my...
to be rapid
I
fire.
know. Give me the Ravens. Dolphins, Patriots.
This is going to be an ugly game.
Fucking terrible. Awful.
Give me the Patriots.
Wash my fucking eyes out with soap. Give me the Patriots. Browns, Commanders. Oh,
Commanders.
God. This is going to be a murder.
Commanders by a million.
Commanders. Colts, Jags. Fun fact about this game.
Joey Flacco.
Fun fact about this game. The Colts have not beat the Jags since 2014.
Oh, there's a first time for everything.
Give me the Jags. I think this is our first win on the season.
Also,
Bills, Texans. Bills, Texans. In Houston.
Give me the Texans. Close game. I like this game. I'm going to watch it for sure.
I'll go with the Bills here. I'll go with the Bills. Cardinals, Niners.
Niners in a close fight.
Give me the Niners. Packers, Rams.
Packers.
Also give me the Packers. Giants, Seahawks in Seattle, baby.
Give me the Seahawks.
Okay.
4-1, baby.
Seahawks, Raiders, Broncos in Denver.
This is another game I don't want to watch.
Chill, bro.
Give me the Raiders.
Oh, fuck you. Give me the Broncos. All right. Whoa. All right. Give me Cowboys, Steelers on Sunday night.
I'm going to guess that Field starts again. Give me the Steelers Sunday night. Cowboys haven't looked solid, and the Steelers defense gets them a win.
Give me the Steelers as well. Monday Night Football, Saints, Chiefs.
Upset of the week. Saints pull it off. Get one done.
Seconding it. Give me the Saints.
All right.
All right.
We had a lot of agreement this week.
What's up?
We had a lot of agreement this week on.
We did. We did.
I'm a little worried about it.
You're worried about it? Why are you worried about it?
Because whenever we agree, I feel like it's going to be like the opposite.
Yeah. I didn't have the greatest week this last week. It was better than the previous week, but
yeah,
only by one win. 9-7 last week. So this week, I should say. And then the previous week I went 8-8. So good record on the season, but overall not bad. Or pretty bad. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for listening to the Logical Nonsense podcast. I appreciate you all. Dodge, thanks for coming on. As always, it's fun chopping it up.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Hunter. And yeah, look forward to next time.
Yes, sir. Road to 1,000. Make sure you subscribe, follow it, all that good jazz. Appreciate you.